Indian parents will negotiate with themselves before spending $5. The biggest issue I have seen is the ABCD kids consider money as a freedom versus Indian parents consider them as a survival. Now, Desi parents will always teach you about the financials, the investment, the saving. The one thing I have noticed that Indian parents never teach their kids, it's spending, because they just don't understand the concept of spending. Everything for them is either you can do it and save it, or you can invest it and make it more. But they just never put a budget for a monthly guilt-free spending where they say, you know what, I'm going to spend X amount of dollar on myself, whether it's, skincare, hair care, clothing. The ABCD kids always sees that as their, satisfaction. They have certain budget allocated for themselves. So they'll be like, hey, I don't mind spending $5 or $7 at Starbucks because I already budgeted that. Where Indian parents will always think like, $7 for a coffee? That's unnecessary. Well, guess what? They already saved, they already invested. Now they have the money and the budget to do something that makes them happy. Maybe it's a convenience, maybe it's a time saving, we don't know. But that has been the biggest age gap, or I would say a generation gap between the ABCD and the Indian parents. And it's not that Indian parents don't have hobbies or they don't want to spend money. They just feel guilty every time they spend a little bit money. For example, your mom's not going to spend on any beauty product because she thinks I already have one. I'm just going to utilize. So even if it's a lipstick or a nail polish, she won't get another shade that she can match with some other outfit. And that needs to change. So in 2026, I hope the Indian kids, the ABCD kids, kind of teach this concept back to their parents saying, hey, have a guilt-free spending budget. Once you're spending, just don't think about it. Kids want to enjoy the day-to-day life. They want to live in today by spending a little bit on themselves. And again, they're saving. They're not just spending everything. We need to balance it out. And this kind of self-care will help the kids grow and be satisfied. They don't have to think, did I do the right thing or not? Spend a little bit. After you save it, once you spend it, never regret it. Okay, bye.